But anyway, could you get us here with some breathing?
Yes. Let's do 4 nice deep belly breaths. Put my hands on my belly. Feel that breath go in your nose. All the way down to your belly. And out. In. And out. In. And out. Last one, deep breath in. And out.
Oh. Yay. All right, everybody. This is the portion of the program where if you're driving, you pull over or you switch to a different podcast, bookmark, or you put down your heavy machinery and you get into a comfy chair, or if you have the luxury of being able to lay down, God bless, do that. And just get here. We did the 4 breaths, so it's easier to be in our bodies because our bodies like to be oxygenated. And we're going to work on our 5th chakra as well as practice the experience that we have done about seeing beings and driving up our certainty, ramping up our certainty. So be a point of light, little point of light, and nestle behind your eyes and in between your temples. And be in the center of your head by yourself. If anyone or any energies are in there with you, go ahead and kick them out. And then check your bubble. You have it whether you're paying attention to it or not, but check your aura, check your bubble, check the boundary of your personal space, of your energy field. Make sure it's nice and solid, yet permeable, because we're going to have energies flow in and out. Make sure your bubble is around you in all directions, over your head, in front of you, behind you, on either side, and under your feet, attaching into your grounding cord. Drop a grounding cord, everyone. That's an energetic connection from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. Center of the earth can look like anything you want as long as your grounding cord can drive into it. So a glob of molten lava, probably not as stable as imagining a yard or a patch of grass, even a beach that you can drive your grounding cord into. I like to use a tube of light, but pick your own adventure. And make your grounding cord at least as wide as you are, and then make it 10% bigger. And set today's date on it whenever you're listening to this. Put the date. And allow it to release any energies that you're ready to let go of. Fear, stress, trepidation. If you've been holding energy for your friends or family, go ahead and let that go. just spend a moment being grounded in the center of your head, in your bubble. This is your safety safe. These are your tools. This is protective space. And go ahead and run some gold energy through your aura and down your grounding cord. Purify, cleanse your space. Update your tools. And on the top of your head, write the word senior. S-E-N-I-O-R, senior. So be senior in your space. The top of your head is your crown chakra. So when you put something in your crown chakra, you're addressing the energy field of your whole body. You're saying to the God of your heart, I am senior in my space. Help me hold this energy. And then put the concept of certainty in your crown chakra on top of your head. Let's just start off this meditation, this healing with a bang. We're going to be certain, we're going to be senior, we're going to be grounded, we're going to be safe, we're going to be in present time. We're ready to take on the day. So on the outside of your bubble, create a reading screen or a bubble, whatever tool works for you. Set in your mind's eye that you see this on the outside of your bubble, not touching your bubble. And on that reading screen or in that bubble, see your stage. I just watched a comedy special last night, and it was shot in Denver, and I believe I have been in this theater. So my theater looks like this lovely old theater in Denver. Don't remember the name, but that's what mine looks like today. With the glorious curtains and the shiny hardwood floor. And if you're imagining that you're in that theater, looking at that stage, you're in the theater by yourself. This is a private screening. So go ahead and take some gold energy and clean off your stage. Some psychic Windex or Pine Sol, clean the stage, the backdrops. Just clear it off. And when it's nice and clean and ready for you, shine a spotlight right into the center of the stage from above. Kaylyn, do you have your stage and your spotlight?
I do.
Awesome. Everybody, get your stage and your spotlight. Stay in the center of your head. Don't go onto the stage or don't step into the spotlight as much as you might crave it. Just kidding. So stay in the center of your head. Be in your bubble. Have this on the outside of your bubble. Spotlight on. And For this first being that we're going to look at, invite a being that you do not know or do not know in this lifetime to step into the spotlight. And for many of you, it will look like a blob, just a blob of energy, formless, yet you can see that something's there. It may look like something, and that's fine, like we talked about last week. But specifically, invite a person or someone that you have never met to step into the spotlight. Do you have your person, Kaylyn?
I do.
Okay. And what are they showing you?
I just see them and what they're wearing.
Okay, so you see like a human form?
Like it looks misty, but I can kind of tell that it's, you know, an older man.
Okay.
He's got kind of like a plaid button-up short sleeve dress shirt.
Okay.
And some brown slacks, but he's not solid, you know, he's misty. He can, but I could still kind of get colors and stuff a little bit.
Awesome. So for the listening audience, you might not see as much detail yet. You might see a shoe or a banana or, I don't know, a glob of energy. So whatever you see, just allow that to be. Again, stay in the center of your head and don't go to that spotlight. Just let it be there. From the center of your head, put the word hello, Hello, in your crown. We're going to say hello to that being and make that hello in gold letters. And send that hello like you're tossing it to the screen. Send that hello from your crown to the being that has stepped into the spotlight. And notice what you notice. Did anything change for you, Kaylyn?
Yeah, I've got like a slow, like a recognition that I'm here.
Okay.
But I can see him.
Awesome. So we're going to do that again. Create another hello from your crown. Remember, that's the connection between you and the God of your heart. So you're saying hello as a spirit to another spirit. So take that hello and toss it over to the being that has appeared in your spotlight. Did you notice anything change, Kaylyn?
Like he's waving, but it's just a slow, again, it's almost more of like an acknowledgement, you know?
Awesome. So you've said hello, they're saying hello back. And again, for the listening audience, you may have that information, you may have much more, or you may have less. There are no wrong answers. So what we're going to do now for the next, I'm going to say about 30 seconds, with your eyes closed, staying in the center of your head, I want you to just send hellos to the being that has shown up in your spotlight. Okay, now go. And again, you can't do this wrong. It's totally fun, totally kindergarten space. Okay, you can continue sending hellos. And take a moment, stay in the center of your head, grounded in your bubble. And Kaylyn, what do you notice now from your being?
A smile, but they're still there. And
okay. Are they still misty?
Maybe a little more solid, but
okay.
I don't see more detail than I did before. I mean, I guess the smile's more detail. So I guess before I probably couldn't see facial, I didn't see the facial features.
Okay. Are you seeing a face now?
A smile, yeah. So I definitely, and I didn't see that before. It was like I could only see, it's almost like it was just clothing,
Yay.
Whereas now I see like the hand waving.
Indeed. So if I had these tools 40 years ago, when that image was at the bottom of my basement stairs or at the foot of my bed, I might have been able to see who was bouncing around this old house, right? Mm-hmm. We might not know name, rank, and serial number, but at least it wouldn't be scary, right? At least it would be, oh, hello, individual. Are you stuck? Probably. So now we are going to give them an assist if they're ready. If you get a sense in your space that this individual wants to stay on the earth plane, then skip this step. For most, my truth is that they're ready to move on. That's why they showed up in this reading, in this healing space. So mine, because I'm doing this with you, was a glob until we did the send multiple hellos. And then he began to take form. It was a dude, very handsome, tall, muscular dude. Thank you, spirits. Yay me. But then as I continued to say hello, he turned out to be a knight. And so he was head to toe in his suit of armor. And as I continued to say hellos, it turns out that he had died on the battlefield, a rather gruesome death. And I was like, oh, so you've been clunking around, mortally injured all this time. So in the spotlight, if you have a being and they're ready to go, imagine that spotlight now acts like the beam. I like a beam of light. You can imagine that it's the beam from Star Trek, when Beam Me Up, Scotty. And see that being. In my space, it looks like they dissolve, kind of like when the people started perishing on Avengers Endgame. I told you these movies are very psychic, and they just kind of disappear in particles. That's how it looks to me, except he's disappearing into particles up this beam of light up to the Supreme Being so that he can be on to his next adventure. He can reincarnate into a new body. Did your fella want to go, Kaylyn?
Yeah. Yes. And it was very similar. It got grainy and no detail, and like it was sucked up.
Yes.
Like a vacuum, you know?
Yes. And I'm walking you through it, but this can actually happen in a nanosecond. You just go, whoop, and they're gone. And so
yeah, you described yours, that's what was going on.
Yeah. So 40 years ago, I could have helped that gentleman. I believe it was a male figure. I could have, but I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So now I know. So you want to try another one?
Sure.
Okay. So everybody stay in the center of your head, reinforce your bubble, ground, pat yourself on the back for giving yourself, giving the universe, giving the planet, giving a being a healing by allowing them to move forward. Yay. Or as a friend of mine used to say, hailing them a cab. So yay. And again, this is a person that you do not know, have not met in this lifetime. We're saving special people for next week. So our final I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost chapter. So stay tuned for that. Check us out. But for in the meantime, mop off, clean off your stage. Dust off any remnants of any energy that might still be there. And then turn on that spotlight again. And this time, again, we're going to choose a being that we have not met in this lifetime. Be very, very clear. And if you want to do the addendum, who is also ready to move on? If you want to add that from the get-go. Invite a being that is ready to heal, ready to go up to the universe, pure love, the Supreme Being, so that they can get off of the earth plane and onto the astral plane so that they can start their next adventure. Look how powerful you are. Yay, everybody. You guys are bomb. So when you're ready, turn on that spotlight and invite a being that's ready to move on to step in to your spotlight. Okay, if we were leading a class, I would ask you to raise your hands when you have someone. This is virtual, so I presume everybody's got one. Kaylyn, do you have a being in your spotlight?
I do.
Okay, and what did this one show up as?
This one is a darker blob, but there aren't many characteristics. It reminds me of people that put a sheet over their head. You know what I mean? Like there's no characteristics. It's just like a veil.
Okay, like how we used to do ghost costumes back in the
yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
Okay. And are you afraid of that ghost?
No.
I have another blob, just kind of a nondescript blob. My two is a little darker. If the last one was white, this one is kind of grayish. So everybody has a being, someone that you've not met in this lifetime. So, and they are ready to move on. But before we move on, let's send them some hellos. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to create hello from your crown chakra and send it over to their space. Send it from your crown chakra there. Make another one. Send a hello from your crown chakra to their blob, person, covered with a sheet, individual, whatever you got standing in your spotlight. And again, can't do this wrong. Set your intention that you're sending hellos and know that you are. So let's take about 30 seconds and just send lovely hellos to your being. Okay. If you want to continue sending hellos, by all means, please do. Kaylyn, what happened when you sent hellos to your being?
So it is a little bit lighter, but it's still blobby. I can kind of see long, skinny arms moving, like, and again, kind of like before, like an acknowledgement that I say she, I think, knows I'm here, but she's still under a veil from head all the way down to the ground.
And that is just fine. It does not have to completely reveal themselves. A, they might not have that much stuck energy. B, they might not want to. They're like, you said you were gonna hail me a cab.
Yeah, all I can see really are arms, long arms.
Well, mine too. And again, people, if this is your first time listening and we've blown you out of the water with weirdness, understand, listen to some of our prior episodes or check back in with us in November. Well, it would still be weird, but maybe not
as weird, maybe.
This level of weird. So mine was a blob, and she, also a she, just because she wanted to share this information, evolved into what looks like someone you might have seen in the 1800s. She was a bearded lady. She had a wicked case of hirsutism. So she was like covered. And we're not going to do it in this episode, but I'm going to tell you. And so that was her karma. She wanted to, consciously or otherwise, wanted to come into this body and be different from most of the other bodies and see what a life like that was. It kind of sucked. So but she has massive empathy for humans who don't necessarily check all the DNA boxes, those that might have ailments or infirmities or some form of when they just don't look like what we might consider as a normal. And please don't judge me for using that term. I'm in reading space. So anyway, so she on her next go round, she will come back with much more empathy for beings that have a coffee ring on their blueprint, as I like to say about the nerve damage in my hand. And she's going to come back as a healer, and she's going to come back much more conscious. Awesome. Okay. So now that we've seen our beings, in whatever evolution they're ready after we've sent them hellos. And now we're going to say toodles. So turn that spotlight into a tractor beam or a beam of gold light and let it guide them up to the Supreme Being so that they can get up and out and beyond to their next adventure. Now, I've walked you through this experiment, this technique, one by one. If you see in your home, for example, that you have a cluster of beings, you can do them en masse. You can just, intend that everybody who's not in a body, up they go. Thank you. Nice for visiting. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So this wraps up I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost, part 3, saying hello to beings, hooking them up to the Supreme Being, being certain, being senior in your space, because you have a body. So you are senior, you are higher ranking than anybody that doesn't have a body. 40 years ago at the foot of my bed, I didn't know that. Now I do. Now you know that. You are senior to any, well, it is Halloween. Can I say ghouls or goblins?
I think so.
Boogeyman under your bed, in your closet. You are senior to all that shit. Anything that doesn't have a body, if you don't want it in your space, this is the technique that works great to help clear your space. Help them on their way, help them on their travels. So Kaylyn, can we do some more belly breathing to sign off?
Yes.
That was kind of juicy. That was high level stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's do 7 great big breaths.
Yes.
Big deep breath in. Out. In. And out. In. And out. In. And out. In. And out. 2 more. In. Out. In. And out.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Again, send us your requests, ideas, input, feedback. Try to keep it nice. We're happy to help. Our email is intuitive.hypno.doc@gmail.com. And I am Dr. Cynthia Smith.
I'm Kaylyn, and this is Intuitive Hypnotherapy Podcast.
And if you listened to my night terror on my sleep app, we invite you to come for the chat, stay for the squeal.
That is what it was. Oh, I love it. Yay. Thank you, guys. See you next week.
Bye.